Okay, if you're starting this video, it means that you've completed the practice on the front where you practiced writing expressions, because you want to be pretty familiar with that before you do this side of your notes. Okay, here's why. So now, instead of just giving you a phrase, we're going to give you a word problem. And so you have to kind of define your own variable, then set up your expression, and then we're actually going to evaluate this expression with the information they give us, and then write a sentence that answers the question. Okay. So let's look at an example. It says you go into a candy store. Each piece of candy is 20 cents. Write an equation to represent the total cost for the candy. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is kind of set up our variables. So the first thing we're going to say is I'm going to use T to represent total cost, because that's the one thing that I'm looking for. And then I'm looking for the total cost for the candy, so I'm going to use a lowercase c to represent the candy. So that's step one, define the variables and what they mean. Then step two is to set up your expression. Well, it says each. Each is one of those multiply words. So that means I'm going to multiply the pieces of candy times the 20 cents to get the total cost. So we would say T, the total cost for me to leave the store, is going to be equal to the 20 cents, so 0.20, times, because that's what each means, C, the number of pieces of candy that I purchase. Okay? I guess I should put that over here, the number of candies that we buy. So now that I have my expression, I read the next part. And it says, how much would it cost for 17 pieces of candy? So then I'm going to evaluate the expression. So pieces of candy, that's my C. So they're basically telling me here that C equals 17. So I'm going to go back into my equation and I'm going to plug this value into the C. So I would say T equals 0.20 times 17. Okay, and I'm trying to keep this video pretty short, so what I want you to do is go in, put this in your calculator, and then you're going to tell me T equals, and then what does it equal? And then in this space right here, you're going to write me a sentence. So it says, write an equation to represent, how much would it cost for 17 pieces of candy? So in this box, you would say, it would cost blank. So then you're going to fill in the blank for 17 pieces of candy. Alright, so let's look at example 2. It says you are golfing with a friend and you figure out that your score is always twice your friend's score decreased by 80. So your score, so the important part, your score is, okay? This is kind of important. Is always your equal sign, just like it was over here. Each piece of candy is, right, 20 cents. So there was our is, 20 cents each, okay? So your score equals twice your friend's score decreased by 80. So there's the information that we need to write the equation. But our first step is to define the variable. So I'm going to go ahead and use y and have that be your score, which is my score, or however you want to do it. And then I'm going to use f for my friend's score. So now, replacing, let's see what I get. So your score is y equals, so I have y equals twice your friend's score. Well, your friend's score, that's f. So I'm taking 2 times, so 2 times f And then decreased by, that would be subtraction, 80. So again, I'm just translating the sentence as I read it. So it says write an equation to represent your golf score, which is what I did. Your golf score is twice your friend's score decreased by 80. So there's your equation. So I've defined my variables, I've set up an expression, and now it says evaluate for the information given. So this says if your friend scores an 84, what is your score? So now they're basically telling me friend score is 84. So F equals 84. So I'm supposed to take this information and plug that information in for here, for F. Okay. They could also write this as find Y at 84. Right? Because this would be function notation. So either one of these things means to change the F into the 84. So if I write that out, I now have Y equals 2 times 84 minus 80. And then what I want you to do is plug this into your calculator. I want you to get an answer. So Y equals whatever you get. And then we're going to write a sentence. So my question is, if your friend scores an 84, what is your score? So I would say, if my friend scores an 84, then my score is blank. And whatever you get for your answer is going to be what you put here. All right, so I've kind of left you 2 other ones down here to try on your own. See if you can't set them up and then go through the steps. So define your variable, write your equation, evaluate, and then write your sentence, okay, on both of these 2. Then at the bottom, this is just kind of reflection and food for thought for me. Okay, it says, what is it about word problems that makes you want to skip them? Okay, a lot of us skip the gridables or anything that's not a multiple choice, and I just kind of want to know why. And then over here for your exit ticket, I want you to write your own sentence for an expression and then translate that sentence into an expression. And I don't mean a word problem. Okay, I don't need a word problem. I want you to do one kind of like we were doing on the front. So I want you to come up with your own sentence. So 7 more than 3 times a number, or things like that. So you might look at one of these as an example, write your own, and then translate it for me. Okay, and again, that's going to be in the exit ticket spot down here at the bottom. All right, so good luck, and if you have any questions, make sure you ask.